Good morning. Today is the 28th, and we are at the escarpment, and the grasses here on the hill are quite high, so you can barely see the escarpment, but you can see the amazing cloud pattern. And as we go along, you can see there's the Kertonde right there, and that's where the Huron worshipping rock is located. And it is a snake-like projection, so I would consider this similar similar to the Ohio mounds, snake mounds, but it's a natural occurrence versus a man-made occurrence. No doubt they were worshipping that wormhole or worm appearance, which came from the sun, that they could see. The sun isn't out today, but what I've been gathering from solaronics, that this was in case probably what was happening, that the vision was better back then. Not just did they see with internal eyes, but their external eyes were better. They had more abilities to see ions, like similar to what I had been photographing with DRAMAP 2. It's amazing how people just come and go here like so quickly. Okay, and where was I? Okay, about the ions. The natives would see with their eyes that were able to capture certain formas in the skies that were produced from ion formas from the sun. Does that make sense? That's why they saw things that we don't understand, like giant things, even though they might have been there necessarily thousands of years ago. Still plesiosauruses in this area that I've noticed myself and I've captured. Now, they would look like baby carp, but were they baby carp that close to the shore? I don't think so. I've seen them frolicking right over there in the bay, right on the horizon point, as I have pointed out before. And there is now some mystery to this connection with Scotland and Loch Ness, and now the Canada is connected to those interlocking chains of cave-dwelling, deep-dwelling animals that are still surviving, but are very shy. And very rare to see them, very rare. Nobody really noticed them before, but I noticed them. And if you pay attention to your environment, you'll notice them too. The natives noticed them. They no doubt had petroglyphs with these creatures on them, and no doubt they are existent. And today there's an unveiling, coincidence enough, of a sculpture in Barrie, Ontario, of a sea serpent. So that is a native, definitely native renown here. So they are obviously here. They see them from time to time, whether they are multidimensional creatures or not, or just very shy because they're deep dwelling, and they come up maybe only in the winter time at certain times, which I've seen in the winter. And then their babies come up to the shore and frolic. They have this kind of dance. They go in and out of each other, kind of like in a circular 8. I've captured that with my son on the beach this summer, or this early spring. And you'll notice all kinds of anomalies in this area. This area is very ancient, and I sense it was at one time a blue crystalline mountain. And I think that the energies collect here, and the energies of the ions collect here, and obviously the natives could see these things with eyes that they probably couldn't believe either, but you know, they thought it was a vision, perhaps, as well. And the visions that you get here are of a natural animal background. The thunderbird is here in legend, and the Ikertondes legends from the Huron natives and from the Pituun natives that are now in Oklahoma, USA. We understand that they are also, they were living here, and now they're there in the Southwest. So, you know, there's connections everywhere we go with the native tribes, with the circle root, with the connection to the circle, to the 4 making 1, 4 elements, combination of those making the circle, and the circle is strong because of that connection that's ancient, probably before Pangea. the single continent that split up during the opening up of the Earth and the spitting out of the moon, if that happened then, or maybe billions of years ago. And now, something really interesting that I just discovered on YouTube, there's a comet, or an asteroid, I should say, that hit the Earth. And within this asteroid, they have found a forbidden symmetry molecule, which I had to question right away. Why is it forbidden? Is it the God molecule? It's perfectly symmetrical. It's a 10-sided, a hexamer, whatever. It's like instead of a 6-sided or 10, or it's a 10-sided Star of David, you know, with lots of arrays coming out. So here we have the perfect 10 system of us that we've always used in mathematics as being perfect. And now we have found in an asteroid 5 billion years old, or if they can even measure that far, you know, it's hard to know if that's all going to be thrown out with the bathwater too, because I don't know, carbon dating I don't think is an accurate science. I really don't. And it's because there's certain times when the sun activates the carbons here to go quicker or to go slower. And we're wondering why the uranium is depleted. It's because it's lost its efficacy because of solar radiation interactive. We're not sure exactly if it's radiation or another kind of radiation, multiple depth radiation, it's multiple level dimension radiation. It's just waves, energy waves, gravitational waves, all this that they're discovering now coming in, that has really opened up the science to reinvent itself, basically. And the farther we go, we get into that whole idea of the matrix and the hologram. The matrix and the hologram being extremely complicated for most of our minds to grasp, because we think because it's material, because we can feel it, taste it, touch it, whatever, the 5 senses, that it is real. But there is reality beyond our senses, and that is deep understanding of our immovable feast, our God center, our own molecule of the divine within us, that we are the temple. So we're holding something within us, aren't we? Temple holds something special, and that's the energy of God can use us as a conduit, and if we have the intent, that's what happens. Now, whether or not we have a mother cell soul, a single cell that we split from originally before we were a zygote, before we became a fetus, before we split into our, I think it's something like 320 trillion cells now, last count, and counting. So it's quite a perception of dynamism, and to understand that this illusion, that most of the Zen masters believe this is an illusion, what we see with our senses and what we hear with our senses, and that our true single cell is our truth. So we have to realize that as well. Something making noise over there. Probably those otters or something. I'm not sure. The fish? Really flipping around in there. Whatever it is, making a lot of noise. Huh. It feels like rain today. No doubt the trees need it. We've only had a little bit of rain. I'm not happy about it because of my roof needing fixing and waiting for that to happen. So I was thinking of developing plastic form of thatch. You know, the dangers of straw thatch, but if they were to make it out of non-combustible plastic, you could have something similar as a temporary type of roof. Because you know how expensive a roof costs, and you know how damaging it can be when you don't fix the roof. So, yeah. Anyway, raise high the roof beam, carpenters. And that's going to be something interesting to understand is that we keep having to raise our sights. Every time we find out something new in science, we have to reconfigure from the ground up, almost backward engineer our understanding. And when we do that, we're finally able to understand our destiny, because we are on a quest to rediscover and recover everything that we once were and somehow fell from grace, and that's it. So, oh well, that's about it. So I just thought I would tell you a little bit about what I was thinking lately. Anyway, have a wonderful day, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.